Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are getting to the next song out of this big CHUNG HA block that I'm doing. This is Salty featuring Sunmi. If you want just the reaction, make sure you check that video out. It's posted at the same time as this one. This video is going to be the one where I talk about the lyrics and my interpretation of them. There's not much to talk about in these visualizer videos, but there is one thing that I saw in the reaction that I do want to point out, so I'll make sure to do that. So let's go take a look at Salty. Okay, so this one's in English and we do have subtitles, but I'm going to go ahead and pull up lyrics over here so I can kind of take the full verses as they come. Within the visualizer itself, there's not really anything to talk about other than she's super attractive as usual. Okay, so this very first, well, the whole song is about this duality of human emotion, right? Like, I might look one way, but I can feel another. And as we'll find out when she's talking about Salty, she's talking about the salt of her tears. Prior to listening on the reaction video, I thought maybe Salty was going to be like upset, you know, like modern slang, but no, it's talking about her tears. So these first two lines: I'm no alien, biological, so I'm not something foreign, I'm just like you. I'm human just like everyone else. Not from a different cloth. So you hear the phrase cut from a different cloth when people talk about how someone is maybe above someone else or better than them or just different. But no, she's like, again, I'm just like everyone else. I'm a human like you guys. So just emotionally methodical, like she picks and chooses when to show her emotion. And sometimes the faucet is off, meaning she doesn't just let her emotions pour out. But in this case, letting her emotions pour out also equates to she just doesn't let her tears come out even though she may want to cry. But it can turn it on. Let's get as soft as a rose, get it thicker than steel. That's how I keep my heart protected. Okay, so my skin is soft as a rose, yet it's thicker than steel. So again, we're highlighting that duality. You know, we might be soft and sensual underneath of this hard exterior. Sometimes we got to keep ourselves guarded because you know, things do hurt us and we don't want people to know. We don't want to look weak or whatever the case might be. And she explains why she does it right there. Like, that's how I keep my heart protected. Like, I don't wear my heart on my sleeve. All right, but and since I keep pausing, we'll just do the rest of this first verse. But under all of my clothes, I still have feelings to feel. I'm hardly delicate, but I be sensitive. So same concept. You know, I'm not this precious porcelain vase or this flower, this rose that can, you know, die and wither easily. But I do have deep feelings, and, you know, things can still hurt me. They can upset me. They can make me happy. You know, that I do feel under anything that you see. I might look cold, but I'm not underneath. I love how she delivers "don't want to drown" vocally as she sends the notes down. One, because it's very pleasing to the ear, but two, because let's listen to that line again. I want you guys to pay attention to how it's delivered on the specific line. So as it's stepping down, it's getting just a little softer, and that could be because she's running out of air just a little, or she could be, and I think this is the case, intentionally delivering it where she's running out of breath just a little to emphasize the word drown, right? So when you drown, you usually go under the water, right? So again, I don't want to, beat that horse to death, but that's a beautiful choice, both pleasing to the ear and makes sense on the delivery of the lyric. But the words here, you say maybe I got an issue, I'm never down. So maybe I always look even keeled, or maybe I even always look happy, and it's abnormal, right? You think I'm something so special, but because I don't ever seem like I'm upset or hurt or whatever. But she says, I just don't leave on the water. It's like she just doesn't let the tears flow. She doesn't let the emotions pour out. Think of it like a dam. She compared it to a faucet earlier, but think of it like a dam. She can close the dam and wall off the water of emotions, or she can open it up a little at a time and let some of the emotions through. She just doesn't leave it wide open because she doesn't want to drown in her own sorrow, her own emotions in general. And then the rest of this, I'll buy a new box of tissues. I'll use them now. So obviously, I'll use them to dry my eyes. But when she says I'll use them now, I think part of that is her emphasizing that she can choose when to cry and when she needs to show that emotion. But also maybe like okay, you think I'm not capable, so I'm choosing right now to show you that I need these tissues. So again, going back to the choice of walling it off or letting it out. And then, honey, take a look. I think you mistook. So like, look, take a look at me. I'm crying in front of you. I'm showing this vulnerability right now. You thought you knew who I was and what I was, but you made a mistake. Take a deeper look. And there's only one thing. I said there was nothing in the video to talk about, but there is one thing, and I don't know when I'm going to see it again, but it'll loop. I'll buy a new box of tissues. I'll use them now. Honey, take a look. I think you missed her. Right here, actually. Perfect timing. So this is the one shot in this entire visualizer that really kind of matters, right? It's a mirror, but it's broken, and it still serves the same purpose. It's still whole. It's not shattered, but it does have imperfections, and that's showing the same thing that she's trying to show lyrically, that you think I'm this, maybe this solid piece of glass, but I have cracks too. Yeah. I love this line right here too. My diamonds are cold, but I'm not made of ice, because it's wordplay, right? We call diamonds ice. So, my ice might be cold, but I'm not made of ice. So I'm not cold, and I'm not, this frozen, solid, hard person. I'm warm and soft underneath. And this one too. So all of the emotions get exercise. So she's telling you, like, you might see whatever, just these couple of emotions that I show on the surface, but they all get used. Like I cry, I laugh, I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm mad. All of these emotions, they get use, right? They get their exercise. So whatever you thought, I'm still a real person. Yeah. Okay. There she did it again with that same technique she did with the don't want to drown. She did it again when she said the word underneath, right? So she trailed down on her notes, which has the same exact effect, because when we talk about don't want to drown, we talk about going under. When we say the word underneath, we picture or envision in our head going under something. And it's literally the definition. So she's saying, look at me, you see sugar and sweet. You see this pretty surface. You see this nice person who doesn't seem to get angry or whatever, but some fire, some heat, so a little bit of passion, maybe a little bit of, jealousy or anger or whatever, but a little sour and sad underneath. Like, I do have those emotions where I have hurt, I have pain, even if I may not show it. Even if, you know, those people who, you know, they laugh when they get mad, or they cry when they, you know, get really angry because they don't have any other way to express it. I'm not saying she's quite like that, because she still expresses it. She just holds it in. But it's that same type of concept where, you know, you see something on the outside, but underneath it's just, it might be a torrent of emotions. And then we're gonna get this line: "You think that I don't, but I cry, baby, cry." So obviously she's just telling you, like, you think I don't cry, but I do. My eyes, they get a little salty. Of course, the salt from your tears.
Think that I don't, but I cry, baby, cry. My eyes, they get a little salty. My eyes, get a little salty. My eyes, get a little salty. I got thoughts that are multi-dimensional, and my guard might be tight, but I'm flexible. Save my tears for the times it's intentional. Oh, I'm not overzealous. I know my soul is precious, so precious.
Okay, so verse 2, I got vibes that are multi-dimensional. So if someone were one-dimensional, it would mean that what you see is exactly what you get. You know, if someone's happy, they're only, that happiness is it. But if they're multi-dimensional, then there are layers to this person. You know, what they feel and what they show. There's, trying to think how to say it other than layers. Like, there's other aspects to them. So then she says, "And my guard might be tight, but I'm flexible." So I picture that, and this may or may not be the kind of meaning she had for the visual of it, but I picture that as, you know, someone wearing a suit of armor. All right, so the suit of armor might be tight, it might be rigid, but she's saying, even though I have that armor on, I can still move around. I'm flexible. I can still feel things. Save my tears for the times it's intentional. Now, actually, there's a comma in there after time. So save my tears for the times, comma, it's intentional. So the way that's written, if this is translated completely accurately, then this has like a double meaning due to that punctuation. Save my tears for the times it's intentional, without the comma, of course, meaning I'm not going to cry until the times when I feel like it's necessary. But with the comma, if you save your tears for the times, it's saying that, you know, the tears have a place. And then when she says it's intentional, I'm making the choice to cry, or let them out. So similar meanings, but not the same. And then she says, "Oh, I'm not overzealous." So, like, I'm not going to overdo it. I know my salt is precious, so precious. Now, this also has extra meanings, because she's the basic meaning here is, if you know your salt is precious, and she's already equated that to her tears, then she knows that her tears, I wouldn't call them valuable, but like, they not only do they have a place and a time, but showing them also is like letting a piece of herself out. And so, like, she values that, and she wants to keep that in unless it, you know, is necessary. But also, salt being precious goes back to, like, ancient times, where salt was considered, you know, a precious commodity, because it was used to preserve, you know, well, pretty much all the food. So we understand salt as precious as an actual mineral, and in the context of her tears. It's very clever writing there.
You say maybe I got an issue, I'm never down. Just I don't live on the water, don't wanna drown. I'll buy a new box of tissues, I'll use them now. Honey, take a look, I think you missed her, yeah. My diamond's cold, but I'm not made of ice.
So Sunmi's doing this chorus.
Oh, I'm a
Very,
it's the size.
very breathy vocals. I'm not used to Sunmi.
Look at me, you should sugar and sweet, some fire in here, but a little sour inside underneath. You think that I'm down, but I cry, baby, cry. My eyes, they get a little salty. Baby, I'm like the ocean, I'll let it come in waves. I'll put a drop in motion, then you can get a taste. I don't leave it on the table, not like the salt you shake, but you bet it's a piece of cake for me to get salty.
Okay, this bridge is actually probably the most clever, or at least the most cleverly written part of the whole song. So, Baby, I'm like the ocean. So we've already talked about the saltiness of the tears. We're already equating that to the salt in the ocean. So double meaning here. I'm like the ocean, meaning I have so much salt, so many tears inside, but also just letting you know that she's deep like the ocean, right? So it's this thing where you can see the surface of the ocean, but you can't always see what's underneath, and she has that depth to her. And then the next line, I let it come in waves. So she doesn't let it all out at once. It comes and goes. I'll put a drop in motion. So, you know, a lot of times we'll hear the phrase a drop in the ocean. And you might see, like, eventually you might come across a video talking about the anatomy of a wave where it starts with a drop and, you know, more and more drops and they pick up and blah, blah, blah. You're not here for all that. But, okay, so we're going to put it into motion. Then you can get a taste. Yeah, but again, it's just a drop. She's not giving you the full thing. She's not going to show you the full depth of her being. She's just going to give you a little bit, just a little taste. I don't leave it on the table, not like the salt you shake. So obviously she's talking about table salt here, but when she says I don't leave it on the table, meaning I don't leave it out there for everyone to see and to digest and to take in. You know, I keep it inside. I don't put it out there. But you bet it's a piece of cake for me to get salty. Again, clever writing, because what is cake? It's very sweet. So you think that there's this sweetness here, but also you bet it's a piece of cake, as in you think it's super easy for me to get salty. So here she could even be talking about being upset, but yeah, but you bet it's easy for me to let the tears out. I actually think she's talking about being upset there as opposed to crying, just because of the general nature of the rest of the song. But yeah, all that different layering of meaning in the bridge is very well done.
My diamonds are cold, but I'm not made of ice. All of my emotions, they get exercised. Look at me, it's just sugar and sweet, some fire and heat, but a little sour inside underneath. You think that I don't, but I cry, baby, cry. My eyes, they get a little salty. My eyes, 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 get a little salty.
Yeah. That was another one that I really enjoy. That was Salty with Chungha Ha featuring Sunmi. Let me know what you guys thought. It wasn't relatable for any of you guys, though. Like, for me, I tend to be someone who shows more of my emotion openly. I wouldn't say necessarily crying, but, you know, like joy, sorrow, whatever. But what about you guys? Is this something that you can relate to where, you know, people think you're fine and happy on the surface, but then you're really just hurting bad underneath? Let me know. But I hope you guys enjoyed the song. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell to enable your notifications. Also, shout out to our Patreons. Thank you guys for your support. Subscribers over on the Patreon get access to the things that I can't put here on the YouTube channel, and they also get guaranteed prioritized requests sent to the top of the queue every month. If you want to make a request but you're not really on board with the Patreon and all of those benefits that you get there, then there is a PayPal link you can check out in the description as well. So thanks again, and I will catch you for the next one. Take care, everybody.